It's not adding more to our self-care to-do list, or even radical change and drastic action that will provide the comfort and soothe us. But instead, it is in activating or rebalancing our feminine creative power that we will find the peace and the clarity that we desire. Welcome to Soul-Led Creative Women, a podcast for creatively curious women seeking rich, soul-led ways to look after themselves better. My name's Sam Horton, and in this episode, I dive into the concept of feminine creative power, what it is, why do we as women need to activate it, and how do we activate it? Enjoy. The more I lean into my work in creative empowerment that aims to help women harness their unique creativity and to cultivate more meaningful and connected relationships with themselves, I've come to realize that at the core of this work, I'm actually supporting women to activate or reconnect with their feminine creative power. As women, I believe this is where our inner truth lies. And once activated and cultivated, this inner power has the potential to really transform and to heal. You see, feminine creative power is a soft, receiving energy. And this energy needs to be balanced against masculine, rigid, doing energy. However, society and business often tells us to prioritize the masculine, and we lose touch with our feminine. Simply put, we get thrown out of balance. We're taught from a young age, male or female, to focus on our outputs, tasks, predefined, widely accepted achievements, and the never-ending to-do list. Get a good job that pays well and keep on climbing, ticking off all the white picket milestones along the way, pushing through, applying logic and thought to solve problems and to make decisions. And whilst this energy has its place and is tremendously helpful at times, this energy is masculine in nature. On the other hand, we're not necessarily taught to listen to our bodies and our inner wisdom. We're not taught to take time, slow down, and appreciate the here and the now, the beauty all around us and within us. We are largely not taught to trust the timing or that the process will unfold as it's meant to, often leaving delicious surprises along the way. We are not taught to stay open and to get ready to receive. This energy is feminine in nature. As with all of life, we must seek balance. Both the masculine and the feminine, they both belong, but they need to be balanced. This is taught in many ancient wisdoms and philosophies. Just think yin and yang. But it's become uncommon in modern society to think about balancing our lives in this way. As women, when we lose touch with our natural feminine balance, always prioritizing the masculine, we get stuck in our busy minds and we feel disconnected from ourselves. We struggle to sit still with ourselves and to process our emotions, our thoughts, and our feelings. Often we avoid any discomfort and we just keep pushing through when we actually need rest. And this means we unknowingly hold on to stress and toxic energy. It can make us feel really unwell and separate. It can make us feel clouded and unfulfilled. So maybe when we feel the symptoms of high stress, restlessness, discomfort, lack of stillness and calm, wanting for endless distractions, a sense of unfulfillment and disappointment. And when we lose our zest for life, maybe it's not adding more to our self-care to-do list or even radical change and drastic action that will provide the comfort and soothe us. But instead, it is in activating or rebalancing our feminine creative power that we will find the peace and the clarity that we desire. When we learn to activate and harness our feminine creative power, we can finally hear ourselves again. We can silence other people's voices and opinions and begin to trust our natural inner guidance and wisdom. We learn what it is we really need to feel cared for and nourished. We can find ways to heal and release the toxic energy we are exposed to and the toxic patterns, so we can feel lighter, calmer, and less triggered. We become less attached to how things will turn out and more curious about the magic in the journey and the process, as we learn to trust and receive and express ourselves fully without fear of shame or judgment. We learn to boldly claim our soul-aligned life and make expansive decisions and take actions that match. So how do we activate our feminine creative energy, the secret weapon we've been missing? Well, at the heart of our feminine energy is our creativity. When we tune into our creativity and our own unique essence that no one else can replicate, when we learn how to express ourselves in our own creative ways that bring us joy and life and zest and curiosity and excitement, we empower ourselves to find joy and beauty in our own creative magic and truth, and we become hungry for more. This looks different for everybody. However, I do believe there are some key elements that must be in place to activate and cultivate this feminine life force. First, we must learn how to ground ourselves in the present moment and seek the joy and beauty right before us, right now. We must set intentions and release negative, toxic energy that is not serving us right here and now. We need to learn to let it go in the moment. We must inquire within and ask ourselves, what does my soul need right now, right here? We must learn to play with no attachment to the outcome, like young children experimenting with new discoveries. Making things with our hands is at the center of this. When we are immersed in physical, tactile, creative activities with our hands, our minds and our hearts are given the space to open up and take the lead. We must give ourselves permission to trust the process, to stay open and to receive. We must learn how to express ourselves in ways that feel good to us, that keep the spark alive. And we must take the time to reflect on our experiences and our creations and allow them the space and time to shine and to reveal themselves to us in surprising and profound ways. So to finish this episode, I'd like you to ask yourself a couple of questions today. So first, I want you to ask yourself, and maybe you can even do some journaling around this. First, I want you to ask yourself, am I prioritizing masculine, hard, task and output focused energy in my day-to-day life? And the second question I'd like you to ask yourself is, how am I currently activating feminine, soft, creative energy? I'd love to know what comes up for you. Feel free to send me an email at hello@samhorton.com or DM me on Instagram at samhortonstudio. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thanks so much for listening. Take care. Start activating your feminine creative power with my free quiz. Answer a few short questions and receive your creative wellness profile. I'll send you 3 actionable tips to help you activate your feminine creative power. Head to samhorton.co/quiz.